Testing, 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 testing. Is that working? Hold on. All right. I can't see it moving. Pause, but but this should be on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know it's an early one, but I think Mondays and Tuesday mornings will be all about Generation Z because I just love talking about them since they can't keep our name out their mouth. Shout out to Generation X and everybody else that is here. I know it's early in the morning, unexpected. So if you're on replay, I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Hype the daggone video. Make sure you comment. But for this morning, I have, since it's been a while since we got back to Z's, the laziest generation, I found some things to discuss on a Monday morning, nice and bright. Good morning to ya. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. There's always something to say because they always have something to say. All right. So, good morning, DeAndre. I see you. I appreciate you, Pooh Man. Good morning, Celine. Good morning. It's always going to be something never ending. Never ending. But before I get into Generation Z though, I actually saw something last night that I think that we should take a look at real quick. I think this is a millennial, but let's go ahead and take a look at this in case you missed it. And then we will move into the laziest. But give me a second. In case you missed it, it looks like, let me get my favorite view. It looks like Ocasio is freezing her eggs, and now she wants the world to know. Now, I don't know how that's going to, affect her, wanting to become president because allegedly she's going to run for president, allegedly. So why do these people think that we need to hear all this? Is anything private anymore? Do people do anything for their damn selves? Is everything for attention? Because you are a congressperson, you're in charge of or you got a portion of one of the biggest cities in the world. You should be good to go. Got it going on. What more is there? Okay, you want a family? Ain't you married? So does something not work? I don't really know. I'm just looking like, girl, why do we need to know this? But the Daily Mail says while Congress is in its August recess, Representative AOC announced on Instagram. She announced on Instagram. Girl. Uh, what does this have to do with your politics, girl? We don't care. We don't give a damn. If anybody cares, raise your hand, because I don't. This is a choice. I'm sorry. Announced on Instagram that she's begun the process of freezing her eggs. This is a choice that I am making to feel more in control of my life, said Ocasio-Cortez. And if people want to make assumptions about my decision, let them make these assumptions. Well, if you didn't tell us, we wouldn't be able to assume anything. So don't you love how these people run off at their damn mouth to alert the world and then know damn well that they're going to get some pushback from the world or clowned or whatever it is? Because you're so desperate for attention that you have to let the world know about something that should be between you and your significant other, which I'm under the impression that there is one, allegedly. If she's married, I don't know. Whatever. I want to know. I want someone to tell me what the hell is private today, Bueller. What in the holy hell is private today in 2026? Is she gonna let us know the next time she goes to take a shit too? Because it's really coming down to that, in my opinion. I feel empowered to make this decision, this choice. She joins over 16,000 U.S. women who annually choose to freeze their eggs to prolong and preserve their ability to make reproductive choices. AOC also appeared on ABC Sunday Morning, where she was asked if she intended to run for president in 2028. She responded, I haven't ruled out the possibility. Let me go ahead and say that I would like AOC and Cam to both run for president because we will have a freaking field day. But let's hear what she has to say.
Don't be weird about this, even though I know all of you will be. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Don't be weird about this, even though I know all of you will be.
A girl.
Okay. That wasn't so bad.
Child, are they taking something out or are they putting something in? Lord help your people. But wait, there's more. Because of course TMZ had to talk about it and say Ocasio Cortez is opening up about her deeply personal decision, announcing she's freezing her eggs and bringing her followers along with her as part of the process. Okay.
Share with you all a decision that is very personal that I've made, that has taken me time to consider, weigh,
Girl,
and
spit
save
it
up
out.
for. And it is of a sensitive matter and a personal matter. And usually I keep my private life quite private.
Clearly not.
But I have made the decision to start freezing my eggs. And I want to share this because I was weighing it for a very long time. And I think that, I was saving for it for a very long time. And there just isn't a ton out there, I feel.
A ton of what?
And sometimes it can feel very daunting. And as women in general, we are not taught about our bodies. We are not prepared for our own lives, whether that is in puberty, whether.
Girl, aren't you 40? What are we talking about? So you're telling me from the time that you was 20, let's give her 23, 24, 25, she got to be pushing 40. So you wasn't taught about your body up until now, so you couldn't read up on that? So you couldn't go out there and take a class? Didn't you go to college? Child, this why y'all need to start reading because Judy Bloom taught me everything that I needed to know. Y'all need to start reading. What is this woman? Is she a millennial? Child, y'all going down bad. I don't accept this as a grown ass woman. Always an excuse. We weren't taught about our bodies.
that is in pregnancy, whether that is in perimenopause, menopause, um, whether that is in so many different aspects of our lives. And, even in just filming this, I am also aware that there is very strangely a political quote unquote risk or even a political tax, that could come with sharing this information. And per usual, that's not, that doesn't influence my ultimate decision. But it is so interesting because I'm also aware that in all of this kind of swirling conversation that happens, I am now kind of opening the door to this being
Hurry
part of
up.
that discussion. And whether that's legitimate or not, that's a whole conversation unto itself. But this is just not something that men deal with. Men run for office or.
Child, what the hell do men have to do with this? You ain't even using a man to get this shit done normally. Now she got to bring in. Child, Lord help your people. So now she got to come in and disparage men, child.
Or frankly, they interview for jobs and people don't think in the back of their mind, okay, this guy's running for office. How old is he? Oh well, is he gonna want to start a family? But you know what? I'm okay with that. This is a choice that I am making to feel more in control of my life. And if people want to make assumptions about my decision, let them make those assumptions. I feel empowered to make this choice. I think it's a very privileged position that I've been able to make. And it's also a result of, I think, changes in technology that have also made it more financially accessible. And tomorrow, as part of my job, I am back in DC today because I'm going to be on ABC this week, Sunday morning show. I'm going to be delivering an interview on national television, and it's in the morning, and I have to take my shots because of the timing of it. I'm going to take my shots in the green room before my interview,
Girl, we don't
and
care.
I want you all to see that, and because women can do anything, and I think it's badass that I'm going to be, you know, giving myself shots in the green room, get my glam on, roll out, talk about international events, domestic policy, elections, pop out, live my life, do my thing. I want to share with you all a decision.
Did you hear what she just said? She just said, I am woman, hear me roar. And you can do it too. Without saying it, she's blasting her. I can. There used to be a song. I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan. All that shit. That's what she's doing. She over here talking about I can and be a congressperson. I am so smart and I can freeze my eggs and I can get my glam on and I can go to work and then I can be in front of 1,000,001 people because I'm so wonderful as a woman, because I'm empowered as a woman. All this dumbass shit that she's saying. Girl, if you are so wonderful and you are so confident in yourself, then why the hell do you need to tell the whole world? Because at the end of the day, you can also add this on. She's attention seeking. She's an attention whore. She's a person that needs outside approval for her own personal life. She wants all the other women to see this and say, yeah, sis, go, sis. Yeah, sis, go, sis. So you done made it to your big old age, whatever the hell it is, while you allegedly gonna run for president. And you think, in my opinion, that doing this is going to bring her in people, specifically women, because we're all supposed to just fall in line behind her. Thank you for that. So she's 36, non-married, I'm going to assume, even though we saw that she does have her own white man. Shout out to the white people. Calm down. She don't have marriage. She is the epitome of being Mary Jane. For those that have not seen that TV show, I might have to revisit it. She's the epitome of being Mary Jane. You got the house, you got the car, you got the clothes, you got the money, you got the job, and you still ain't got no man. And so I got to freeze my eggs, or like she did in that TV show, steal sperm in order to get something. So this is a way to say, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I don't need a man. All right. Not a 4-year engagement. Okay, they not getting married. He one of those one. He gonna sit here and allow this to happen and then just be like, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Anyway. So this is supposed to be the new way. So this is what these bitches are trying to teach younger women. You can do it too. You can be alone, even though she's engaged for 4 years. An engagement for 4 years means you're not getting married, y'all. Okay? You're not getting married. It's probably one of those what is it called? Remember I told you about that girl that made that video that says that it's like a promise engagement ring just to get you to shut the hell up, but we're really not going to get married, because if you're not going to press it, given all the shit that you're doing, and I'm not going to press it because I really don't want to be married anyway, we'll just be engaged for forever. And then 10 years from now, it'll be, look what he did to me after all these years. Oh my God. Goodbye. AOC, this does not make me want to vote for you. It actually makes me not want to vote for you even more. So you've just lost a vote. Just if it was in play, let me just be the first to tell ya, because you know everybody got to tell their business. Let me tell my business on voting. If AOC gets the nomination for president, I will not be voting for her because she's attention seeking. And I don't have time for her bullshit. She'll be in the White House with the damn babies that she's going to make allegedly from these frozen eggs. Even though she got a man right next to her who she's engaged to. What the hell are you freezing eggs for? Because they're not going to get married. Because a baby would get in the way if she got pregnant. Child, anyway, I don't care. These people crazy. All right, that is your hear me roar moment, because that's basically what it is. Let's get into some of this foolishness over here with the Z's. This video from Novatorio, whoever the hell they are, says why every employer is scared of Gen Z. I can imagine why. I'll keep my thoughts to myself until they say it. Celine, you off the hook already this morning. Good morning to all of y'all. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let's hear why every employer is scared of Gen Z.
75% of employers say Gen Z isn't just lazy, they're unemployable. It's not a meme, that's real data. 93% ghosted job interviews, 87% didn't show up on day one, but here's the twist. What if Gen Z isn't broken? What if the system is? In this video, we're putting Gen Z, Millennials, and Gen X head-to-head to find out who's really the problem. And
not putting us head to head, y'all. Okay. So they don't show up on the first day, and they're not wanting to work or whatever the first reason was, but it's the system that might be the problem. All right. Let's see who wins.
Why it might not be who you think. To really understand why Gen Z works so differently, we need to look at who came before them. The original 9-to-5 warriors. Before we had quiet quitting and job hopping, we had Generation X. The silent grinders. Born between 1965 and 1980, Gen X came of age during the rise of corporate America, and they adapted fast. Their work mantra? Put your head down, don't complain, and maybe you'll get a pension. They didn't have LinkedIn. They had fax machines, and networking meant bowling with your boss. And sure, it wasn't glamorous, but it worked. Gen X built careers on discipline, hierarchy, and a shut-up-and-work attitude. If Gen X
discipline, that's what he said, discipline,
were the rule followers, millennials were the dreamers. That the economy woke up real fast. Born between 1981 and 1996, they were told, go to college, chase your passion, and success will follow. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Instead, they graduated into the 2008 financial meltdown with a shiny degree in one hand and a $30,000 debt in the other.
I'm thinking there's a lot more than that, but go on.
So when millennials talk about work-life balance, it's less about yoga at lunch and more about I have 3 jobs and a side hustle. Now, meet Gen Z, the generation that thinks fax machines are ancient relics and the idea of working your way up sounds like a scam.
Yo, no, who even uses a fax machine anymore? I had to use one. You know what I had to do? I had to go to Staples or one of them places in order to fax something. Because as soon as somebody said you could fax it to me, I said, huh? Who faxes? There was a point that I had, what is it? An all-in-one at home. Ooh, an all-in-one at home. Do y'all know what is it? A printer, a copier, a fax machine, and a something else all in one. And now that nobody has phone lines at home anymore, because you have to have a phone line in the house, and nobody has that anymore. I mean, maybe one of y'all do. I haven't had it in years because everybody uses their cell phone, right? So when somebody says fax, I'm like, where the hell do you get that done at? Child, I had to look it up. I'm like, oh Lord, who does this? Can I take a picture and send it to you by way of email? That would be easier. Nah, had to fax it. Lord have mercy. That one hurt me, if you can believe it. That one hurt me. Maybe we have a fax at work, but again, nobody faxes, so I'm so confused.
The people who never knew a world without smartphones, Uber, or TikTok. They were raised on 15-second videos, and now they're supposed to stay awake during 90-minute PowerPoint meetings. Gen Z never burned
That's the problem right there. Listen to that. Because you're too busy watching shorts, you can't stay focused in a meeting at work.
Who never knew a world without smartphones, Uber, or TikTok. They were raised on 15-second videos, and now they're supposed to stay awake during 90-minute PowerPoint meetings. Gen Z never burned CDs, never waited for dial-up internet. But what they do know is...
So you know what that means? That means that they are instant gratification people who don't know about waiting for something. That's what that means. That means that these people don't know how to wait for anything. It's instant gratification.
This: burnout, layoffs, mental health crisis, and student debt. So maybe it's not surprising that 50% of them say they'd rather be jobless than miserable. Maybe they're not rejecting work, maybe they're just rejecting our idea of what work should be. Gen Z is getting roasted online, rejected by employers, and labeled entitled. But what if they're not entitled, they're just trying to survive? If you think Gen Z has it easy, buckle up. Because when you stack up the numbers, it turns out Gen Z was born into the worst economic setup in modern history.
Here we go. Oh, was it the Depression when they were born? Are they... Okay, somebody has a landline. There you go. All right. So were they born during the Depression? Did I miss a meeting?
Gen X bought homes when the price to income ratio was just 2.9. Millennials faced 4.4. Gen Z, try 5.6, the highest it's ever been. In the 1980s, most students graduated with little to no debt. College cost a fraction of what it does today. Millennials graduated with $30,000 in loans. Gen Z, they're starting careers $38,000 in the red. Still think
And going to school for shit that ain't gonna produce anything. I'm just saying.
they're fragile, or maybe they're the first to say, this isn't working and I'm not pretending it is. If you want to dive deeper into how the system is stacked against younger generations, check out our video, The College Lie. Why your degree might be useless, links in the description. Gen Z didn't just challenge the rules, they flipped the whole table. And guess who's not happy about it? Their bosses. In interviews, managers call them high maintenance, uncoachable, and soft. A study shows 74% of employers say Gen Z is harder to work with than any previous generation.
So does anybody think that the employers are gonna change? So I don't think that they're mad. They want to say, "Oh, they're mad. They're mad at what you won't do." I don't think they're mad. I don't think they're mad. And if Z's are happy, be happy. But you running off at the mouth on TikTok is telling me something different. So you don't have to go to work. You don't have to do anything but die. That's all you're gonna do. You're definitely gonna die. So if y'all happy being bums and being lazy and thinking that you're doing something to go against corporate America, why is it always corporate America that takes the strays for Generation Z? Where is it written that they have to work? Because I feel like in their minds, it's either influencer or corporate America. You never hear them complain about blue collar work, right? You don't hear them complain about the military because those things are just not things that they consider. So they're basically, what is it called? When you just look straight forward and you don't look around. I forget what it's called right now, right? So you don't even open your mind to think of anything else. It's just be on social media all day, which is really what they want to do, which is what he led with. They don't even have an attention span to hold any time or anything. Thank you, boo. Tunnel vision. They have straight up tunnel vision because all I hear about from these people is corporate America. You know, there are plenty of other things in the world. Corporate is not for everybody. I don't disagree. Just like the military is not for everyone. It wasn't for me, was not for me. Just like blue collar work, that was for me at one point, and then it's corporate America. So there's a lot of options out here, but the only thing they seem to see is corporate. So if anybody thinks that corporate America is going to change for this group of people, they are sorely and sadly mistaken. They're turning the table on what? So who thinks that the lady that runs there's a woman that runs Citibank, and Frazier, her name is Frazier. I'm pretty sure she's not sitting there at her big old desk holding up this big ass company in all these different countries. What they're going to do is just get people in other countries, which is what they do. That unfortunately they do get paid pittance. I'm not saying, slave labor, but they get paid pittance compared to the United States. So what you're doing is even more so, in my opinion, sending jobs to other places, which is fine, But I love how the slant here is that the corporate America is the issue, and that they're going to change. They're not. They're not going to change.
But here's the twist, Gen Z isn't trying to be difficult, they just don't buy the suffer now, succeed later story. They'll ask why in meetings, reject unpaid overtime, and call out toxic bosses out.
Child, I wouldn't work. I wouldn't work for free either. What unpaid overtime? What the hell is that? What? Child.
Isn't trying to be difficult, they just don't buy the suffer now, succeed later story. They'll ask why in meetings, reject unpaid overtime, and call out toxic bosses out loud, online, and sometimes in real time. For employers raised in hustle culture, this feels like rebellion. For Gen Z, it's just setting boundaries. It's not a war.
No, it's not setting boundaries. You own nothing. This is the part that amazes me with these people. Child, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. That don't even make sense. But this is the part that Generation Z don't seem to get. You don't own anything. You're in charge of nothing. You can have this attitude and think you're being all cool and rebellious. That's fine, child. You're gonna find yourself on the other side of the door, and then you can do what you want. But you don't get to go into somebody else's establishment and tell them what to do. I don't know why that's so hard. I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. You own nothing. You have nothing. You bring in nothing. So you get to say whatever you want, but guess what? It means nothing. So just because you got people on the internet saying, yeah, sis, go, sis, or yeah, Z, go, Z, you're not doing anything to change anything. That's on you. So you're going to have to change yourself. And this thought of, well, it's not fair. Life ain't fair, buddies. Life ain't fair. Shout out to X. That's what we know. So this is why. So this says a lot about so many things. This is a generation of people who think that people give a damn about them. These are narcissists. This generation is a bunch of narcissists who think that the world revolves around them, and everyone should care about their heart and their feelings and their emotional. And they think because they speak up in meetings and don't go to work, and that makes them special. Well, is anybody knocking on your door? Is anybody knocking on your door? Say, please. This is what they think. Please, please come work for me. I'll pay you $5 million. And you don't have to do anything except for just exist. And you can leave whenever you want to. You can work whenever you want to because you're so special. Totally a generation, trophy generation type of person. All this is just telling me the same thing this does not change my opinion. These are, except for now I can understand that these are narcissist people who think that what they're doing to try to change a corporations, this is why they always talk about corporations. It makes sense now. Because they think that they should change for them. So if any of you that are here right now, or whoever hears me, right, think that if you go to pick said corporation, child, if you think that you go down there to their corporate office and say, you got to do what I say because I'm from Generation Z and I don't want to work this much, 40 hours a week, and I want to get paid $150,000 to work whenever I feel like it, and you better have a game room, and you better give me free lunch, and you better let me take a nap, where that's going to work at? Where that's going to work at? This is what these people think. Shit, like the epitome of narcissism. I can't take it. It's actually hilarious because they think they're so much more important than what they are. You don't have to work, don't work. I love it. Content for days, right? Don't work. I'll make sure that I follow up on the complaints that these people have. So one more thing, and then I'll read this super chat. These people are also a bunch of people who don't believe in coming together. Again, do what you want. Oh, it's the hardest time ever. It's the hardest time ever. You had it so much easier. We got married. We got together. We combined incomes. So it would be just as hard for us and X if we were by ourselves. But because we come together and combine incomes and we work, that's what helps it work. That's the difference. Nobody wants to talk about that part. These people are not getting together. They too busy being whores and too busy effing and too busy trying to fly to Dubai on some Arabs or whatever they are over there dime to whore and then get tossed off of a building and then say it's not fair. Well, y'all want this easy way. There is no easy way in life. Life comes with decisions, choices, and consequences and difficulties. I don't think these people understand that. I don't think these people understand that. Shout out to Selena. I appreciate you, boo. I remember saying something in high school about Trump because I liked him even back then. And I had a teacher pull me aside and say, I'm too triggering. Girl, you are Z. Why would they be mad? That's what, it must have been liberals. It had to be liberals. Because you're a Z-er, so they should love that type of thing, right? But because most of these schools are liberal based, they're triggered because you're a conservative, you're a Republican or whatever. Anyway, come on with this story because these are so dumb.
On work, it's a demand for respect. Imagine this. Gen Z isn't just part of the workforce, they're calling the shots. The 40-hour week? Out. 4-day week with flexible hours? Standard. Mandatory overtime? Replaced by mandatory downgrades. Emails at midnight? If you send one, expect a reply next Tuesday. Meetings? Only there's a clear agenda and an actual point, and yes, that's revolutionary. Old school leaders call it laziness, but maybe it's just sanity. If this sounds radical, maybe you're just getting old. Time to change. Start.
I'm definitely old, okay? But it doesn't change the fact that corporations are not going to sit here and accept this, talking about what you want. Like, you matter when you own nothing. That's the amazing part about it. So the insult of maybe you're getting old, that shit don't work no more. Because it still doesn't change the fact that you own nothing. You're in charge of nothing. You don't tell other people how to spend their money. That's why the socialism is coming to be a thing, y'all. This is the exact reason why more people that are being elected are socialists. Because the lazy generation, the people who elected Mem Danby, want people to take care of them. That's what it comes down to. Because they're them. They can find a way to get a latte. They can find a way to hang out at Home Goods. They can find a way to be on the internet. They can find a way to do a get ready with me, but they can't figure out a way to get a position, a job, a business, or whatever in order to sustain themselves, their lives. They would rather complain and blame like women do and try to get everybody else to change for them. Wow, I love this.
The 40-hour week? Out. 4-day week with flexible hours? Standard. Mandatory overtime? Replaced by mandatory downgrades. Emails at midnight? If you send one, expect a reply next Tuesday. Meetings? Only there's a clear agenda and an actual point, and yes, that's revolutionary. Old school leaders call it laziness, but maybe it's just sanity. If this sounds radical, maybe you're just getting old. Time to change. Start with a $7 almond milk latte and see where it takes you.
There you go. Just have a $7 latte. The generation who don't want to work, but they gonna get their $7. Child, this is nothing new. We've been talking about this for a couple of years already. We've watched plenty of TikToks where these people are sitting there talking about they don't have enough money, they don't want to work, but they in line at fucking Starbucks. And I go to Starbucks, but I can afford to. So the difference is that I don't have to complain, and I can go to Home Goods and buy whatever I want. I can go to Starbucks every day, and I don't need to complain about that. These people complain about that.
Time to change. Start with a $7 almond milk latte and see where it takes you. So after all that, who's really the problem? Is it Gen Z with their job hopping, boundary setting, and mental health days? Is it millennials, the burnout optimists who followed the rules and still got crushed by debt and disappointment? Or is it Gen X, who built the system and now say, why can't the kids just tough it out like we did? The truth? Everyone's playing the same game, but the rules have changed. Gen Z isn't lazy, they're just the first to say out loud, this system doesn't work for us. And maybe that's not a weakness. Maybe that's what change looks like. So tell us, if you had to hire one generation today, which one would you choose? Let us know in the comments, subscribe for more.
It would never be Z. And they're lucky I don't hire anymore. Excuse me, very lucky I don't hire anymore. Cause ain't no way. Cause what people who never had any type of responsibility don't seem to understand is that when you do the hiring, if something goes wrong, it's gonna come back on your ass. So I would not ever take a chance on a Z. So he can reframe it. I would hire a millennial though. I would definitely hire a millennial. But ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't these old folks complaining about gas prices for the SUVs and pickup trucks? I mean, I don't like it, but I gotta pay it. I'm not complaining about it. I can afford it. So that's the difference. I don't know who you know, but no one likes high gas prices. But back in the 70s, when I was a child, there was a time where they said you couldn't even go to the gas station unless your license plate ended in a specific odd or even number. So while y'all out here trying to talk about, oh, because somebody's old, that shit don't work. If you're a Z, which I'm assuming you are, y'all lazy. It is what it is. And I don't care about what minimum wage is. Y'all want to do everything on your own because you listen to people like Alexandra Casasio, whatever, however you say her name, saying that you can do it all by yourself. I am woman, hear me roar. I'm gonna freeze my eggs. I've been engaged for 4 years. I can't even get a man to lock me down. And I can do everything, and I can go on here, and I can get glammed up, and I can have the kid. A kid is just an accessory, which she probably honestly shouldn't have a kid. She want to bring the shit out here? That's fine. She probably is not a person that should have a kid. But the part about saying this about this the gas, everybody is a part of the same thing. The difference, like I said, is that you people want to do it all by yourself. Do it all by yourself. Have the fuck at it. We got married. So that means we combined incomes and we raised families together and we pooled money together and we invested together and we built together and we worked jobs together. Y'all don't want to do together. Y'all want to be separate. Y'all want to be independent, strong, independent. I don't need a man. So be independent. That's half of what the problem is that everybody wants to be independent. That's not how life works and that's not how you build wealth. So while Z's can complain about a system that they are not going to change. They act like y'all act like it's only corporate America out here. Y'all act like you are in charge of something. And all you do is provide content for people, really, at the end of the day. You're not going to change your corporation. You're still going to suffer. We're all in the same economy. And whining and crying ain't never changed nothing for nobody. But good luck to y'all, but not really. Because, child, we need programs like this. So ABC News says that Gen Z says finding love is too expensive. Well, damn. What do y'all do? Complain. That's why you're lazy. Because all y'all do is complain. What are y'all happy about? Doing what we want? Well, do what you want. Don't bring everybody else to your bullshit, though.
Well, this next story has a lot of people talking. Gen Z singles, they're facing a romance recession. Young adults are finding out that dating has become too expensive. Between dating app subscriptions and pricey drinks and expensive dinner menus, the average cost of a date has skyrocketed in recent years, forcing singles to spend their nights on the couch rather than out on a night on the town. Journalists visit.
Maybe your dates are expensive because you don't work. So you're not. Oh my. I love this. Maybe your dates are expensive because you're alone and you don't want to work. I can afford to go out. Actually, with my friends now planning on going to Carnival in Miami. And guess what? I don't have to get a GoFundMe. I don't have to beg anybody to do it. I just need the bottom fucking line and I will just pay for it. Imagine old ass me after working, raising a family, taking care of my husband. I get to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and don't have to come to the damn internet and whine and complain about it.
Journalist Kristen Myers joins me now to break down the numbers here, and Kristen, certainly a lot of thoughts about this. But one of the things I do want to talk about, according to a poll, or according to poll after poll, young people are dating less than the previous generation. So I'm curious, is money the biggest factor here?
I think that it's both money and then also a little bit of dating fatigue. You kind of hinted at it in your opener, which is that right now.
Now they got dating fatigue, child. Woo! One complaint after another.
Now, for a lot of Gen Zers to find love, essentially they have to swipe and swipe and swipe on these dating apps. Gone are the days where you go out and you meet people in person at networking events or at hobbies or frankly just being set up by friends or family members. And I think that fatigue combined with the exorbitant cost of dating all of these people that you will probably never see again is making a lot of Gen Zers feel tired and exhausted from the whole dating game altogether.
Well, and while finding a partner could be
So it sounds like tired and exhausted and whining and complaining is just adjectives to describe this whole generation. Shout out to Jarvis. Thank you for the Silver Star Boo. I appreciate you. Whine, complain, and blame. But these people think the world is going to change for them. Okay. Gentlemen, because it's usually a bunch of bitches. Come on now. Let's not act like it's not. Are y'all going to change? Well, I don't know if there's any generation Z's here, but for those that date down, or age-wise? Are y'all dating Generation Zs and you're gonna give them all these things because it's so hard? It's so hard.
Exorbitant cost of dating all of these people that you will probably never see again is making a lot of Gen Zers feel tired and exhausted from the whole dating game altogether.
Well, and while finding a partner could be a challenge economically, I mean, there are some big benefits to a relationship and actually save you money. So I'm curious, I mean, how are people like navigating that cost benefit analysis whenever it comes to potentially saving on things like rent or other benefits?
You mean coming together and pooling money and paying rent with two people? What? What? I tell you what, that is just, I don't know where he got that from. Amazing.
I don't know that they actually are thinking about that cost benefit analysis, but you're not wrong. Frankly, being in a relationship is financially beneficial. Getting married, or who you marry rather, is going to be one of the most important, actually, I would say the most important financial decision that you are.
Ask Alexandra Ocasio, when she get married? 4 years engaged, girl. When you get married, why you freezing eggs? Do it the old-fashioned way. Oh no, she's a woman. Hear me roar. She's empowered.
Ever going to make. So there's the very practical realities of being in a relationship with someone helps you save on things like rent or bills, but there's also the very real fact that companionship, and we find that married couples, they end up making more money. And frankly, marriage.
What? Hold on. You mean to tell me that I might know what I'm talking about? Not old ass me, y'all. You're just old. Yeah. The goal is to get old. You're just old. Yeah, child. Yeah. That really works. What did she say?
Relationship with someone helps you save on things like rent or bills, but there's also the very real fact that companionship, and we find that married couples, they end up making more money. And frankly, marriage tends to be an economic, particularly for men, it tends to be an economic tailwind for them. So being in a partnership is definitely a net positive thing.
Wait, what is particularly for men? Hold on, child. Hold on.
Bills, but there's also the very real fact that companionship, and we find that married couples, they end up making more money. And frankly, marriage tends to be an economic, particularly for men, it tends to be an economic tailwind for them.
So it's an economic tailwind for you, gentlemen. Did y'all know that? It is an economic tailwind for ya.
So being in a partnership is definitely a net positive thing for most people, especially financially. But again, I don't think that a lot of Gen Zers are approaching dating in the most economically sensible way. There's definitely.
Oh, well, they're going to sit up here and call you old because you just have the nerve and the audacity to say that the way that they're doing things are a detriment to themselves. You mean they don't do that? They like to blame other people for their lives.
A net positive thing for most people, especially financially. But again, I don't think that a lot of Gen Zers are approaching dating in the most economically sensible way. There's definitely a middle ground between going on a walk through the park and just telling someone to meet you on a corner and going for a walk because you don't want to pay $200, or paying $200-$300 on a date, which in New York City is not that unusual.
Didn't one of y'all just say that a second ago? Going to the park or going to the beach or something like that? You know these people don't want to do that. Are y'all out of your mind if you don't go and take them to Castro's, Pastros, and Mastros and shut up about it and just do it because they're who they are, and you should just do this for me because I'm who I am, even though I can't do it for myself. And I'm going to blame Generation X and baby boomers because I'm a poor ass bitch and I can't go and get anything myself because these corporations expect me to actually work. These corporations actually have rules that I'm supposed to follow in order to get the money. These corporations make me go to meetings, and I would rather be at home on TikTok whining and complaining with the rest of the whiners and complainers. You mean to tell me that it makes sense for someone to come together, bringing money together? What? Crazy talk, I tell you. This is just crazy talk. If y'all don't get out there and take these people where they want to go. Wait. So let me see. So women are empowered and they expect. Wait. Let me get this straight for a second. Hold on. So women, all in, not every woman, but you know the I am woman, hear me roar crowd, the feminism, the feminists who got it going on, who can do it all by themselves, who want to be like AOC. I don't want a man, I don't need a man. I don't want a man, I don't need a man. Cause child, this is women shit, okay? So you're not gonna tell me I can do it all by myself, but then turn around and say that you all, gentlemen, got to take them to Castro Pastros and Mastros. Men can't do it, Generation Z, because they are lumped into the I don't want to work. I want to work when I want to work, and you need to pay me $1 million to work. And if you don't pay me $1 million, I just won't work. So I'll just be at home on somebody's couch in my parents' basement on TikTok or whatever social media platform. So then y'all females will then try to date older. So then older will date you to F you, and then you become a whore, and then you're left with a wet ass. Then you're 30 some odd years old, like Ocasio, and I'm not saying she did this, like Ocasio, and then you now want to fertilize your eggs or whatever because you're fake engaged for 4 years as a grown adult because I am woman, hear me roar. It's a vicious cycle, y'all. It's clear, but it's a vicious cycle. And you know they don't want to listen because they know everything. Shout out to Z's. You know everything. You're doing a great job. For people that know so much and know everything, they certainly do complain a lot.
Walk through the park and just telling someone to meet you on a corner and going for a walk because you don't want to pay $200, or paying $200-$300 on a date, which in New York City is not that unusual because it's not that hard to find a bar or a restaurant where you're going to be spending a lot of money.
Well, that was a very tactful.
And then they got to live in places like New York City and in California, wherever, or whatever other big some big city, Miami, wherever any other big city is, DC. Got to live in those places because you got to be seen and you got to pretend. Child, most of these influencers don't even have the money that they front to have. But people believe what they see on the internet so much so. Hell, grown-ass women believe in that show Love Island and all these other reality shows, of which should only be for entertainment. But as we learned last night, for those that were on my live stream, or maybe the night before last, is that Black women really do believe that things like Wakanda and the Black Panther are reality. The mind is destroyed for so many people. The mind is truly destroyed for many people. No one uses it to think things through anymore.
Way of talking about the lifestyle creep of catching flights and going out and expensive dinners here. But there's something else that I wanted to talk to you about, and that's this viral TikTok trend, the stay-at-home boyfriends that are on the rise. And I'm curious, I mean, what are you saying? What are you seeing?
Now, gentlemen, you get to be disparaged again, of which we've already covered. But now it's the stay-at-home boyfriend because this is again what I'm saying, which we know is what it is. It's about women at the end of the day. I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm empowered, I don't need a man. But now the new alleged trend is that y'all's asses get to stay home while they go out here and make all this money. And then you're basically gonna do what I say, when I say, how I say. So you will go out and get a job and work, but then your man got to stay home. Child, whatever.
The workforce that explains this trend.
Well, I'm a millennial, so I know for us millennial women, we are not dealing with a stay-at-home boyfriend. I can't think of any one of my friends that would ever go for that. But I think that what we do see Gen Z do a lot is they are upending a lot of traditional gender roles, and that would be one of them, right? The
upending a lot of gender roles sounds about feminist to me.
Concept of the stay-at-home wife or the stay-at-home.
I hate to keep interrupting, but one of the gender roles that they're willing to keep is you gentlemen being able to take them out to Castros, Pastros, and Mastros.
For that. But I think that what we do see Gen Z do a lot is they are upending a lot of traditional gender roles, and that would be one of them, right? The concept of the stay-at-home wife or the stay-at-home boyfriend now becoming the stay-at-home, or the stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home girlfriend now becoming the stay-at-home husband or the stay-at-home boyfriend. I don't know how popular that trend is, though. It might seem popular because it's got a lot of TikTok views, but I don't see a lot of Gen Zers actually going for it because I don't see a lot of Gen Z women making enough money to keep a boyfriend.
Girl, how? They lazy. But you know how Drip Sauce dude that's on TikTok that we watch, I can't think of his actual real name, who is a stay-at-home father, who actually does take care of his babies, who actually does cook for his wife, he actually does make content so he makes money, and how many women shame him? Like I said, this is always about biatches, y'all. This is all feminist shit. This is all, you're not gonna tell me, all rolled into one. So in one breath, now there's this alleged trend, which is a trend, Good morning, Kofa. Which is a trend, of course, that's starting to be a thing with stay-at-home boyfriends. But it's not Generation Z. It's probably older women because the Zs are lazy and they don't have any money. So it's the older women that can get a man to stay home while they go out. And then you still have women on the internet that are shaming men who work from home or who take care of kids at home. So the real deal is, who cares what women think? Let them think and say what they want. They the ones that's losing for the most part. Because like I said, like she just said, the Z's don't have the money to keep a stay-at-home boyfriend. These people don't want to get together, which is really most of the problem. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it and think that everyone else has to conform to them. It doesn't work that way. But then they'll start looking up, hypergamy, I guess you want to call it, to look for you all, generations they complain about, but the ones who have money to come take care of them and take them out because the ones at their age can't, which isn't weird because they haven't accumulated yet. Then they're talking about not working. And then I'm talking about the men that I know who are in their 40s and 50s that work 60, 75 hours a week. That sounds like crazy talk. Until a bitch want to go out somewhere, then it's okay that y'all work 60 to 75 hours a week. Take me to Castro, Pastros, and Mastros. It's a vicious cycle, y'all. It's a vicious cycle.
At home on their couch taking care of the dog.
Well, that's fair. And then there's also the anecdotal of folks not going for it. Kristen Myers, thank you so much for your insights today.
No worries.
All right. Shout out to ABC for that segment. Let's go to the talk, child. So I found a trend. I forget what it was called, but I found it. It's about Z's. I think it's wait. I don't know. I forget what this trend is called, but here's we're gonna go through some TikToks because this is their Bible. This is their holy grail. This is everything. TikTok means everything to women and liberals, progressives, of course, but definitely to Z. So, let's hear it.
Is that they don't got two fucks to give. Like they really don't give a damn. They really don't. If it's not for them, fuck that. They going on to something else. If somebody's busting their balls, they don't care. They're moving on because they understand what we didn't get. I'm a person who'll stay at the party too long just because I feel like I'm supposed to, out of obligation, out of a sense of responsibility. My friend's doing this. I'm in this relationship. I got to see it through. I got to compete. All this bullshit, man, that has nothing to do with reality. If it's not working for me, especially if it's hurting me, pick up my shit and go on, carry my toys on, and I don't give a fuck if somebody has something to say about it. Too damn bad. One of the things that I love about this generation is,
hey, listen, if I have to be in the office 4 days a week from 9 to 5, you have to be in the office 4 days a week, 9 to 5. She says, I need more work-life balance. I am all for work-life balance. But is it just me that you have to earn that throughout your career? The luxury to come and go as you please?
She's kind of right. I had to work all the fucking time, then come do this for free every day until I got paid enough. Then I kept working my bartender job and my waiting tables job and selling stuff on eBay and did this for a long time after that. Then once it was a substantial income, that's when the work started. And now I still work basically every day, except for now I can kind of come and go as I choose. And I can work a 3 to 5 hour workday and make substantial money. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you're doing a career or your own business.
Hey, listen.
Shout out to Jack Morgan. This is his TikTok, and he's good on, or he's large on YouTube, right? So this is, I'm gonna put him as a millennial, probably a later millennial, but he's absolutely right. You got to do something, and then work towards what the hell it is that you want to do. Just like me sitting here doing this before work. And then I'll do it again after work, but I'm gonna go to work because you need the income until you get to where it is that you need to be. But these people want to come out here and get everything that they want and need from the gate. It's not reality. Go ask your parents for that shit. Shout out to Kevin for the hiding jewels. I appreciate you. But for some reason, that's weird. For some reason, that sounds weird. The world is not going to change for y'all. And once there's more socialist mayors and stuff that come in, and you're gonna find, because I'm telling you, I haven't been wrong about. I'm wrong about plenty, but this is what I'm not wrong about. If the freaking current items that the government provides is an issue, meaning food stamps and Medicaid, daycare, welfare, if that mess wasn't working well beforehand, y'all think that giving over everything to the government is going to be good? Because it sounds like you all don't want people to tell you what to do. But do you think that you're going to have a say in what the government does for you when you're asking for them to care for you? Groceries, daycare, rent, probably electricity, child, whatever the hell it is that y'all think that they're going to do for you. You really think that that's going to go well? I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see it, because it's already a mess in New York at this point. Not as bad as I thought it would be yet, but give Ma'am Danby some time. Y'all got 2-year-olds in daycare for free. Congratulations. That's awesome. When all of the people with money continue to move out of New York City, I'm just wondering where the hell this money gonna come from. But anyway.
Gen Z does not give a single fuck. They just don't care.
Child, Lord help your people.
And in like a funny way. Stick with me here. I'm status, okay? I'm millennial. I'm deep into millennialism.
We know you deep into something,
and
child.
I don't know, we just like, I feel like millennials were like really like scared of getting like, we just followed the rules. Like we didn't want to, like at work, like I'm specifically referring to Gen Z who works at this theme park I'm at, and like, they just don't care. They don't give a shit. They're just so, but like in a funny, like, I don't care, bro. Have some extra fries, like I'm not gonna charge you for it, or, and like when they're doing their jobs, like I was at the cafeteria, and they just didn't give a shit. They're just like, I'm like, who trained you guys? Like, she didn't know the basic ingredients of one of their salads. But in a funny way. I'm not being a Karen right now. I'm not complaining.
God, that's
funny.
enough.
Yesterday was the 21st anniversary of 9/11.
Oh my God. From one LTM to another. Why does this look like, child, what is Will Smith's child's name? It looks like both of them, actually.
Asking the younger generation, does this date still hold significance to you? Do you still think it's important?
Nobody cares about it. Like our age, because like a lot of us understand like the reality behind what happened and how much like we did to other countries to like not like deserve, but like deserve what happened, like 9/11. Wow. Obviously like support to all the families and everybody like that passed, and like it's a tragic event. But the amount of shit we've done to other countries, like the younger generation doesn't care because we all like hate the military, we hate America. So there's like bigger tragedies that really don't get like touched on. Like,
all right, lots to unpack there with that little D-bag. So he blames 9/11 on what America did, right? And then he proceeds to say how the generation, Gen Z, hates America, hates the military, so we really don't care. And to top it off, apparently the schools don't teach it, or they teach it on some political basis instead of saying, here's what happened. We were attacked. People died. We went off to fight a war about it. They get hung up in the policy, right? Instead of saying there was people who fought. They were patriotic. That thought they were doing the right thing. Whether or not the policy was right, the troops went over because they loved their country. They loved America. And these people just don't give a shit. They don't want to know. The stuff's right at their fingertips, and they keep spouting off this bullshit.
I forgot that like it was 9/11 the other day until I saw like a post about it. Like I just did not remember at all.
Do you think it's still significant?
Maybe, but not really to the younger generation.
How is this not significant to the younger generation? We were in a war for 20.
I wonder if World War I, World War II, or any other war is important to these people.
years. Like the war, don't like the war, WMDs in Iraq, I get it. But is it significant when someone attacks your country on a coordinated scale with planes? Yeah, I would say so. And then what happened after that? So is 9/11 on its face significant? It changed the world landscape as we know it. See, TSA, I could go on and on.
That's a good question. A lot of people really forget about it. I know the thing is to say don't forget, but I don't think it really gets talked about much these days anymore.
I grew up in a really small town.
Yesterday was the 20.
Oh my goodness gracious, my gracious goodness. That's, again, to each his own, right? These are the people, you have these LTMs, first of all, because the agenda to make men into women and effeminate is on and popping. And the most influential people to get to do it is Z, because again, lazy. They're not going to look into anything, but swear that they know everything, but can't even figure out how to go find a job that's not corporate or work somewhere to make money, to stop complaining about all the expenses. I bet things are very expensive when you aren't working to make money to afford it. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Okay, let's just go ahead and say that you forgot that it was 9/11. That's fine, right? So you got to disparage it and say that we deserve it. So then when your ass get into some situation and you come back on this talk and then you begging for something and I say, you know what? You deserve that. Everybody would be on my ass for it. Everybody would be on my ass for it. But it's okay for these D-bags, like this man just said a second ago, to sit up here and be disrespectful, not only to 9/11, but to military. Salute to our veterans. They don't even realize the reason that they can be out here running off at the mouth like this is because of the military. No respect whatsoever. And then talk about they don't like it in America. Who's holding you from staying? Who's making you stay here? Who's making you stay here? I'd be a little bit confused about all the people that complain about the United States of America, but don't go anywhere. You have free will to go wherever you want. And I would say start with Russia. Go hang out with Putin. Child, go over there to whatever part of Korea that one weirdo is. Go stay there. Go over there to those countries and live and talk your shit and see how well that works. That's what I would love to see. I will give Generation Z the entire respect when they all go live in one of those places, talk their shit, and still remain alive with all their limbs. Since it's so horrible here, or go wherever, just get out of here and no, don't go to the Caribbean, don't go to Thailand and all them places that passport bros go. I want you to go to some of these other countries that if you was talking like this, you would disappear real soon, since you're so oppressed. Everybody's so damn oppressed. Everybody want to be oppressed, y'all. And blame everybody else and hold no accountability for their own damn selves. But ain't going nowhere. I'm confused why so many people are trying to come in and all y'all do want to complain and blame and whine and cry. Child. Anyway, Lauren says, since all these bastards hate America, I dare you to try that in North Korea, Russia, China, Thailand, Iraq, Afghanistan, Jordan, Kuwait, Palestine, Israel, Africa, and Mexico. Yes, thank you for the list. Yes, go there. Go there and talk that shit and see if we ever, and put it on TikTok and then see if we ever see y'all's asses again.
Doesn't care about Jay-Z. Why should they? Why should they? Jay-Z touching 60. This man is about to be a senior citizen. Why should Gen Z care about a senior citizen? I'm confused why this matters. We're not saying, why does Gen Z not care about LL Cool J? Why does Gen Z not care about Stevie Wonder? Because they don't make music for Gen Z. I'm sorry that Kanye West is 50-year-old man making music for little white kids, but most people his age and older are not making music for Gen Z. Jay-Z's last album came out almost 10 years ago. So that means if you're 20 to...
Well, let me just say real quick why she rants about, basically she's ranting about elders. She's old people, right? Jay-Z came out for 3 days or 4 days, however many days it was, sold out entire stadium of whatever that stadium was in New York or New Jersey. Um, Real quick, probably made billions of dollars real quick. You don't have to know who Jay-Z is. And I'm not putting Jay-Z on no pedestal, y'all, not at all. But she wants to make this the everybody's old type of thing. This is another thing that they do. They try to say, you old, you old, you old. Yes, but we can also afford. And we have the money to do. While y'all sit here and complain and try to shame Jay-Z and Kanye, who I don't disagree, probably don't make money for Generation Z's. Y'all listen to Sexy Red and all that trash shit. They still can command and demand and make more money and be able to go wherever they want to go, which is something that y'all simply clearly don't want to do. Yankee Stadium, thank you, boo. Yankee Stadium. Can any of these people that they're looking at, can Sexy Red sell out Yankee Stadium? Anybody, Bueller? Does anyone think that Sukiyana can sell out Yankee Stadium? Anybody? Bueller?
Daddy, you're 20 today. You were 10 years old when 4/4 came out. 444. An album about divorce, mind you. Why would you have cared? Again, say even if you were 15 when 444 came out. Now you're 25. Why would you have cared about an album about divorce? He's not making music for your age group because he's an old man and he's making music for people around his age that can go through or are going through anything he's experiencing. That's what artists do. It would be very weird to me if someone who's almost 60 is marketed towards little kids. Yeah, that would be weird. Also, is this like a black thing? Like, do white people get around in a circle or put up their cameras or write long paragraphs and make discourse being like, did Gen Z care about Madonna? Does Gen Z care about Paul McCartney? Or is it just black people? Like, are black people not allowed to have...
We like Paul McCartney and Madonna too. These are also the people that want to make shit a black and white issue. Shout out to Madonna. I mean, she looking crazy now, but I'm pretty sure that she can do some sellouts as well. All these people that they talking about, I don't know who these young people are, child. I'm meaning music outside of the ones that just are whores. I don't know these people's music, but can they sell out Yankee Stadium while they talking trash?
Alleged.
Will they be known 40 years from now for doing anything exceptional?
Or like, tell me. I'm just confused. Like, we don't do this to the Beatles. We don't do this to their legends. We don't do this to Journey. Girl, Madonna did just drop an album. She is a single, whatever it is. She is marketing towards Gen Z. She put out a song with Sabrina Carpenter, and it is paid dust, by the way. I just don't see where there's these long paragraphs and this whole story around it. Why does Gen Z not care about Elton John? Why does Gen Z not care about Big Daddy Kane? Like, be so for real right now.
Well, she certainly knows all the names for somebody that doesn't care. I mean, I haven't heard that argument, but honestly, at the end of the day, that's all these people want to do is be on this internet arguing about, first of all, bullshit that don't matter and shit that actually should matter. They don't care about that either. So these people don't care about anything. So you hear what she's saying, right? You hear what she's saying. Somebody said a little while ago, these people have no respect for the elderly. Of course, we, respect the elderly, disabled in the military. They don't have any respect for the military. I'm pretty sure they probably think disabled people probably need, it's probably their fault or some shit like that. But they want people to give a damn about them and their plight. Do you see how this works? Do you see how this works? They can come onto this internet and disparage everything and everybody, but then somebody is supposed to have empathy and sympathy for their alleged plight. The laziest generation ever, the rudest generation ever at this point. People who have no respect and no boundaries for anyone and anything. This narcissistic generation that thinks that everyone is supposed to change for them. And then you think I'm supposed to have empathy and sympathy because I'm going to take it on the chin. You think that I'm supposed to have empathy and sympathy? No, I know what it is. I know what the problem is, but I'm old, so I don't know shit, except I know a lot of shit. And instead of trying to change and do something that will work for their benefit, they just rather say that everyone else needs to change. That's not how life works. No one changed for us. No, nothing changed for baby boomers, nothing, and nobody changed for millennials, and ain't nobody changing for these people. But they can get on this TikTok, which is where she's at, and she's very skilled at it, I can tell, and talk mad sugar honey iced tea, and then think that somebody is going to give them something. A corporation ain't never gonna change. A corporation ain't never gonna change. And guess who else isn't? X.
Yes, anything you can do to like try to take down the Carters, I guess, girl, go for it. If you even if you got to reach for the top shelf, even if you have to go up there.
Long rant today. Hot take. Our generation, I mean, this spans age groups, but specifically our generation is the most selfish group of people and purely act out of self-interest. It blows my mind. We have no idea how to form communities, how to contribute to a community, how to be kind and neighborly, how to be adults. I had a party last month, and I'm going to call out every single one of my friends. I invited all my friends 2 weeks in advance. Everybody had notice. It was a big party. I cleaned my house. I spent, a lot of time.
Shout out to Anton and what Anton says. I'm really a little bit confused why y'all keep saying this stuff like this. Random said most of these kids are the products of Generation X. Was there a way that Generation X was raising these kids that contributed to how they are behaving? What I said earlier, if you missed it, is the problem is I don't think it's mostly X. My kids are millennials and a higher end Z, so kind of a millennial. Parenting is important, absolutely. However, what they're influenced by is what they see on the internet, what they see people say. So if they're following the talk, which is led by a bunch of bitches, liberals, progressives, and Democrats, who are the ones that came in and slashed and effed up everything. No God in school, no prayer, no national anthem or, pledge allegiance to the flag. Everything is bad. You shouldn't have to. Then there's feminism. I am woman, hear me roar, which definitely was a thing back in the 70s. But now it's of the men are no good. You don't need a man. You don't need to be married. You can do it all yourself. You got Ocasio. We just watched a video of her letting the world know and showing us that she's puncturing her stomach because she wants to freeze her eggs. The influence of influencers, especially women, is the actual problem. But they want to follow it. They want to go by it. They want to listen to people who basically are lying on this internet. Most of the people on this internet are lying, and a lot of them have been exposed. The influencers who try to act like they're making all this money ain't. They buying shit and returning it back to the store for content. This is the same thing with people who believe that Wakanda is real. The shit is not real. And they're taking life advice from people that they don't know. People that they don't know anything about them. They don't know anything about their real life. They don't know anything about how they really live because they see something that's glorified and they want to follow it. So they're being led. So if they want to be followers, follow the fuck along. Go follow. And when you end up with nothing and you have nothing, because the other agenda, before I close up, the other agenda is to be alone when we know as Xers that you need to come together. All they do is get on the internet and fight about 50-50 what a man is. Child, I'm looking at this thing. I don't understand it about the WNBA and what is a woman, child. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know how we come to 2026 and somebody is sitting here saying that they don't know what a woman is. The WNBA has to have a meeting to figure out what a woman is because they're being mocked, from my understanding, by men saying that they want to join the WNBA, so now they're having a fucking fit. When you allow everything to be, I don't even know what the reason is, but when you try to allow everything to be because everybody thinks that they matter, everybody don't matter. You matter to you. You matter to your family. You matter to your life. The rest of the world don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a damn about Generation Z. I don't give a damn about bitches that want to be alone. I don't give a damn about single mothers who whine and cry. I don't give a damn. These same people don't give a damn about me, and I'm okay with that. But they certainly love to ask for things, specifically money, and empathy and sympathy because they're them. Well, you made your choice, buddy. You lie in it, you live in it, you figure it the fuck out because that's how life works. Because everybody ain't supposed to be happy 24 hours a day. But these people think that they should be happy 24 hours a day. They should have what they want 24 hours a day. And they think that everybody should give them what they want 24 hours a day while they do what they want to do 24 hours a day, of which does not include anything that looks like work, that produces money so that they can live. But they will definitely, because again, this is mostly women, and now that they're trying to make men effeminate and feminine, you know what I'm saying? Now they be mad that there's no men. So this topsy-turviness is brought on and done by a variety of people because people, specifically Generation Z, are lazy and they think they are worth more than what they really are. Because Bezos didn't start out as a billionaire. Zuckerberg did not start off as a billionaire. They went and they created because they probably didn't want to do the regular, smegular corporate work, in my opinion. Steve Jobs too, rest in peace to Steve Jobs. They probably didn't want to go that route. So they went and they did something about it. They didn't complain, whine, blame, or none of that. They went and they did that shit. And guess who is a participant on making them as richer every day? Generation Z, who ain't got no money, who whine and complain about working, but worry about capitalists and how much, the people that run all these companies that they participate in capitalism for while complaining about capitalism. Make that make sense. Amazon, #1 company during the pandemic. Nobody wanted to save. Nobody wanted to think about the future. And they loved that portion of the pandemic where they didn't have to work. They didn't have to pay no bills. They didn't have to pay no student loans, but they was getting all this money. And now they think that that's how it's going to be if they vote for a socialist. I promise you that's what they think. And it ain't going to be that way, which is why that downfall will be wonderful to see so that I can just look and say, I tried to tell y'all. But they want to say, you're old. That's cool. I'm good. That's fine. I am. But you still going to be a loser even once you elect all these socialists. And we're going to be here to say, I tried to tell y'all, but I'm old because y'all have no respect for anyone. Not y'all, unless you Z. Because you have no respect for anyone or anything. And because you're a narcissist, you think that everything revolves around you. And that's just not how life works. So, Kofa, Atlanta is just one part of Wakanda. I'm not sure how long you listened to the stream yesterday. But that heifer that was talking about the new Black Panther, they're talking about the movie Black Panther like it's real. Like there's a delusion even in Black women's minds to think that Wakanda is a real place outside of just Atlanta. And it's wild to have listened to. But anyway, come on, child.
Putting this together, every single person showed up late, and I mean like 2 hours late, and every single person showed up empty-handed. I was stunned, and I really did feel disrespected because I was raised, if you're invited to a gathering, a barbecue, a party, anything like that, as an adult, you bring a gift for the host, you bring snacks, you bring like anything to lighten the load. And I was just...
What? You mean you come to a party, you at least ask, is there anything that I can bring? We know the selfish generation don't do that because all they do is think about themselves. All they think about, like Kennard said, is what they get. That's selfish. That's a narcissist.
So shocked that nobody had even considered to do that. And this is coming from someone who, for many years of my life, I was extremely selfish. I acted purely out of self-interest. I didn't care who I hurt, and I lost a lot of people because of that. And it took years of reflection and a lot of work on myself to get to where I'm at now, where I can confidently say that I always put others before myself, and I go out in the world approaching every situation with kindness. But I'm like so upset because what happened to hospitality and I don't know, just like being kind? We severely need to reject the idea of I don't owe anyone anything. You actually owe everybody everything. You owe people kindness. You owe people hospitality. If somebody does something really nice for you, you owe them a handwritten letter, like something to just acknowledge that you care about this person. And we've lost the plot. And
I 1000% agree with it.
Well, you got one that's got some sense. Somebody here says exactly, manners and common courtesy don't exist for too many people. They definitely don't exist. I don't even think, I'm telling you, for people that think they're so smart, they don't even know what words mean. Manners and courtesy, everything except for this young lady right here that I hear from a Z is disparaging to someone else. They have no respect for anyone. They barely have respect for themselves, but they think that everybody else is supposed to change, child. Whatever.
There's no hiding the fact that this.
What do you do when you manage a team of like Gen Z people who don't care to go above and beyond, that really care more about work-life balance?
You pay them to go above and beyond. You let them know, hey, this is what I need you to do, and this is what I'm paying for. But the problem is, y'all want six-figure work, but don't want to pay six figures. In your job description, you want to be.
Imagine talking about paying six figures and you bring nothing to the table. Another one just talking. Oh, you got to pay me six figures in order to do work. What is that what you think? That's how you think that works? If you were worth six figures, you would get it based off of your skills and your job set, and this wouldn't be a discussion. But you should just give it to them because it's who they are.
Be vague so you don't have to pay as much and then get mad when you get vague work. This isn't hard. It's not rocket science. And I hate when employers make it hard on themselves. You want above and beyond work, pay above and beyond wages. And of course, they care more about work-life balance because their lives don't revolve around work. What is up with employers that don't care about work-life balance? That is the number one driving tool to get good workers. And I'm gonna just say it. Y'all don't want workers. Y'all want slaves. Y'all want people that's going to dedicate 100% of their time to your company. You want people to care about work. How about you care about them? That is basic one-on-one.
There you go. How about you care about them? Well, you just don't get paid millions just because you're you. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. You don't have anything. How is it always the people that don't have shit always trying to tell other people what to do? I'd be so confused. Just like when people say, you shouldn't talk about this. I'm sorry. Are you Google? You shouldn't talk about these people. I'm sorry. Are you Google? You have no say. You own nothing here. You are not Google. Imagine having to follow rules because these people don't want to follow rules. And then they think that they can just say, well, this is what you should do. I'm sorry. What do you own? I'm sorry. What do you offer? I'm sorry. I missed it. What do you have? Oh, yeah, nothing. Except for your mouth complaining about everything. I just be so confused. How does this work? ADHD says, six figures only in the 100,000s. Come to Texas and work for me. I'll have you making six if you're worth it. There are plenty of ways that people can make six figures, but you're gonna have to work for it. And if they just think they're so wonderful, then why are you not getting six-figure jobs? If Generation Z is so wonderful and they have so much and they're so smart and they know everything and everyone else is so old and nobody knows what they're doing, why are they not doing it? Why are they not getting six-figure jobs? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And which six figure is it? Because Spartan's dog is saying life is work to make six figures. There's a lot of six figures. That's the other thing that these dummies don't seem to understand. Six figures is a range. It's a long ass range, but everybody always talking about six figures. Child, we get tired of hearing it on these dating shows. He gotta make six figures. Well, which figure? Wait, which one? I'm confused. I can't. I don't understand. Anyway.
In any relationship, I need y'all to understand that people don't care about your business. You care about your business.
Exactly. Thank you for your honesty, sir. Listen to them. We don't care about your business. There you go. You're right. We know. They know. That's why they don't get seven figures, because I see you, Prime. That's why you don't get six-figure jobs. That's the problem right there. But y'all think that everybody else should care about you and your plights. When you were together, houses only cost this. When you were back in your day, gas only cost this. When you were there, you only had to pay this much for the eggs. Yeah, because you all know so much. Everything was so much easier back when we paid 99 cents for gas. I didn't fill up when I was a teenager with 99 cents gas. I fill up now with gas being almost $4 fucking. So yeah, there's a difference, but y'all don't want to see that because these people think that we just popped out, Generation X. They just think we popped out and six figures was just sitting there waiting for us. I'm telling you. We didn't go through anything. We didn't struggle through anything. There were no hard times for us. We didn't have to suffer. We didn't have parents who just left us home by ourselves. We didn't have parents who beat our asses, yelled at us like we was crazy. Nah, it was all peaches and cream, child. Everything was wonderful, and we didn't suffer at all. We just came out with a house and a white picket fence and a husband and a wife and 2 kids and was able to go on vacation as soon as we turned 18, y'all. Ain't that how it worked out for y'all? Shout out to Generation X. Ain't that how it worked out for y'all? And we was making 6 figures and we had pensions and retirements and we was going on vacations to Dubai and we was going to Thailand like MTR just did. We was doing all that at 25, right? Bueller, X, I'm gonna need you to chime in. That's how it worked, right? Right?
We just want to pay our bills. So if you want people to go above and beyond, I promise you, all you have to do is just pay them above and beyond wages. I guarantee that.
What is above and beyond wages? Just pay us. Generation X, is that how it worked? You went into McDonald's for that first job and you just said, just pay us $18 an hour. Is that... We've already talked about it. We already know. These people don't understand. Oh, minimum wage. Oh, minimum wage. I should get minimum wage at 17? I'm worth 6 figures at 21. Child, I can't take it. This is too funny.
This is literally common sense for me. I don't know how it's so hard for y'all to understand, but y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all in the next one.
I saw this millennial make a video the other day talking about how Gen Zs need to realize that you actually have to turn up to work if you have a job, and how we're like essentially don't take the workplace seriously as a generation. And I think there's a very contrasting image of the workplace and careers and stuff between millennials and Gen Z. And I think it's mainly because like boomers and obviously like those generations have like been able to make a really nice life for themselves through a career, and millennials have still slightly benefited from that. Like they've had the grad into jobs. They were like the first generation really, like where more and more people got to have like higher education, college degrees, like university degrees, and they actually saw those benefits. So they're in like early 30s now, like with good, decent jobs, like they've moved to big cities or they've bought their houses a couple of years ago. Like they've just been able to have like a nice life for themselves because of it. Whereas Gen Z, I feel like, are really truly the first generation that are coming out of uni and they do not have a job. They cannot find a job. We've been applying for hundreds and hundreds of jobs and they're all like
because they're looking for 6-figure jobs. That's probably why.
Getting rejected, we're being ghosted. And also, the minimum wage is a trip.
Oh, and let me say this, and I got about 20 more minutes. Let me say this also. Because of this TikTok, that's gonna be the downfall for most of these Z's, is you run off at the mouth and you tell all your business. I'm telling y'all, I firmly believe that one of the reasons that the pandemic ended when it ended is because people were on TikTok whining and complaining that they wanted to get out of the house because they was in the house bored. I promise you, as one of the reasons. They wanted to get to the bar. They wanted to go out and drink, right? Now they're able to go out and drink, still complaining, child. Oh, you want that pandemic life back? It's done deal. It's a done deal. So now you're going to have to work, get your ass up and work. And now you don't want to do that. You want to get $1 million. You want to get $1 million. You want to complain about said work. Child, remember the time that they was out here making TikToks at their work, in their job places, in their uniforms, and getting fired? It looks like maybe they learned that lesson, but they still coming out here talking negatively about said jobs, then wonder why they don't get hired. What company wants you to come out and disparage them? Like the dude just said, just pay us money. Then that won't be enough. Then it will be, I need more time off. Then it will be, I need more vacation. Then it will be, it's too much stressful because somebody asked you to do something. It's a never ending whining ass battle. And running off at the mouth on TikTok when all companies have social media people that monitor your social media, you do your own self a disservice. You think they not looking at your stupid ass TikToks and whatever the hell else you have to say. That shows and proves how dense y'all really are. Just lazy. Just lazy.
Atrocious. Like, we all know that the minimum wage is really, really bad. So I do feel like by the time you're like the age of what a millennial would be now, like early 30s maybe, you kind of have come out of that bracket and you have found like a steady income source, usually in the career that you were wanting to go into with your university degree. Whereas a Gen Z are like mid-20s, early 20s, and they're literally working retail jobs, Aldi jobs, like minimum wage jobs, and barely affording rent. So, like, we are living very different lives. I'm not saying
shout out to feminism. You go, girl.
Every single Gen Z is struggling and every single millennial has got it so cushy. Like, it definitely isn't the case. But I think generally, millennials kind of need to realize that the way that they view the workplace is because they still have slightly benefited from that system. Whereas we as Gen Zs, we are not getting anything out of it. Like, we've not got the jobs we were promised. We have all this debt. Millennials still had.
Wait. The jobs that you were promised, who promised you a job, child? Go back to them. Whoever promised you a job, go back to them. And why y'all got all this debt? Oh, yeah, because you went to college, because you had to have the college experience. Child, I know too many people. You know, being 55 affords me the opportunity to know many people in life. I didn't say I know everyone, but I know a lot of people. One, who went to college for the college experience. It wasn't I need to go get a degree because I want to go into this portion. No, I want to go for the college experience. And what that meant was I wanted to go to college, party, be a whore, and then get a degree in between all that, which is how these people want to live real life. Okay. So then they not only went and did that, like I said before, when you go and you get student loans, they're always going to send you more money. Trap, and you don't send it back. And then you use that money to live. And then you think you're on the high life. Oh, we going on vacation, child. I got the money to go on vacation. And so y'all use that money in order to go on vacation. Then it comes time to graduate and y'all say, ooh, them student loans is a lot to pay. I'm going to just keep going to college. So instead of thinking, you know, if I keep going to college, I'm racking up more debt. Nope. Y'all said, nah, I don't want to pay that. So I'm going to just keep incurring more debt. And then I'm going to keep going to school and incur more debt to delay having to pay the debt that I don't want to pay. So I'm going to incur more debt. So that's what y'all did. And then it got to be more and more and more. And now the payments are crazy. And then y'all got all this daggone debt. And now you can't afford it because you can't find a job. So now you want to blame the employers because you decided to continue to go to school because you had to have that college experience. You took all that daggone money. So that means you couldn't really afford it to begin with. You didn't have no scholarships. You weren't working at the time. You didn't take the opportunity to pay that shit off during the pandemic when they gave 5-6 years where you didn't have to pay interest. Y'all just said, I'm just not going to pay it back. And y'all had these daggone TikToks where you said that. I'm not going to pay it. I don't care. I'm not going to pay it. You wanted Joe Biden to pay it because they lied to y'all. And while they paid some people's off, we not paying everybody's off. Pay your shit. And then y'all didn't know enough to know that you cannot include it in bankruptcy. So you can't even file it for bankruptcy. So it ain't going nowhere. But y'all steadfastly talking about you not going to pay it. You're not going to pay it. Cool. Imagine getting online and looking at someone who sits up here and says that they're not going to take care of their financial responsibilities. And then you think they're supposed to hire you? Do you look like a good fit when you're on the internet saying, I'm not going to pay my financial obligations that I willingly took while saying that it was not my fault, even though I signed that promissory note year after year after year? No accountability. Everybody else's fault. Somebody should give you something. Ha! Zoomer, they're not going to join the military because they don't have any respect for the military. They have no respect for the military, for the elderly, for the disabled. They have no respect for anybody. Because as the military, they don't even like America. I don't even know if you were here for earlier where they said America sucks and it's not a great place, and yet they still here. We invite them to go live in other countries, but I promise you they won't leave. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for your generosity. Appreciate you. He said, Auntie, not only they did that ish on the job, they also promoted the mask and vax under Joe Biden. But soon Trump, Vance, Rubio, Musk came in and cleaned up the government agencies because of no productivity being done, but too busy recruiting LGBTQ. Seen it when I worked in DC. Well, one, I don't disagree about what happened with regard to 300,000 black women, and it wasn't just them that got fired, but of course that's what gets focused on. A lot of those jobs were made up because a lot of those jobs were put into place because the black leaders delivered the black vote in order to get Joe Biden in. So all these jobs were made up. And I always reference that one that was the liaison between Joe Biden and Cam. I forget the exact name, but it was some bullshit ass job. And so they made up these jobs to thank them. I promise you, most of those people were D9 Boule people because they're the ones that get the opportunities for delivering the black vote for the Democrats. I don't know why people don't see that, right? So there's that. So then if you got a made up job that ain't producing anything, and someone else comes in, you got to go. They don't want to acknowledge that most of those jobs are cushy jobs, floating jobs. And then when a new regime comes in, there's always the chance that you're going to lose that job. So you need to make plans in advance. They thought that they had another good 4 years with Cam, or they thought Joe Biden, then they thought probably Cam would take over after that. Didn't anticipate Joe Biden not being able to mentally take over the job and just assume that Cam would get it. Not recognizing that a lot more people are trying to use their brains at this point and say, you know what, child, that lady don't offer us nothing. He look half damn crazy while you got these Democrats out here saying that he's in his right mind and we can actually see and hear. And he really doesn't, but they lying in our face to say that he knows.
On the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Somebody tried to convince us that was normal, acceptable, and okay. And then people wonder how Trump won. That's totally Democrats' fault that Trump won because they want to make all men be LTM. There's an agenda for men to be women, to be effeminate. And there's enough people that ain't got time for that bullshit, but they still want to push it. They still continuing to push it, and then they think they're gonna toss up Cam and Ocasio to be president. A woman is not gonna be president, y'all. Let me just let y'all know right now, as an old person who got a lot of common sense, okay? You're not gonna see a woman president. You're not gonna see it. Good luck to y'all. You're not gonna see it, and it's definitely not gonna be Kamala. It's definitely not gonna be Ocasio, and there's no other woman. Unless maybe Condoleezza comes back, and it's been so long, I don't even know if she could do it. Maybe Michelle Obama, and I don't even think she gives a damn about none of this, right? So I don't even know that it's her. Hold on. My bad. Let me shout out C Money for the thumbs up, Jules. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. It's not gonna happen. Thank you, boo. He said, being in the government, some of us tried to tell people, but they spent that whole time still mad at Trump, even though Biden was screwing them. Because, yet again, as some of us that can pay attention can see and know, Joe Biden don't give a damn. We just saw Clyburn the other day talking shit about how black people didn't come out and vote, and black people don't come out and vote enough in order for Cam to have won. No, you're lying to us in our face, and we don't appreciate liars. We don't appreciate lazy people, and we don't appreciate liars. So while you're pushing out baby boomers are still going to vote Democrat no matter what. Most I'm gonna just go out and pick 90% of baby boomers are going to vote Democrat. But can they get out to vote at this point? And that's a whole voting block that's going away. So then you have X. And we can see, because we've been through a lot and we've seen a lot. And we see what it is at this point. So we're going to say, you're either going to give us something or you can KMA. Because if you ain't giving us anything, and even Tariq Nasheed has said it, even though he a little flip-floppy, why should we give you something for free? There's too many people that like to give stuff away for free and then turn around and they want something. You can't ask for something after you've already given something. You need to ask for something before you give. So we're asking what the hell it is that you have to offer, and they said weed to you black men, and then they made up all this other bullshit, which didn't make no damn sense. Also, Joe Biden wasn't in his right mind, and all Cam could do was laugh. Over there with Trump, he listened to a younger person with some sense, his son, and got in front of the right damn people who were on the internet, not a bunch of bitches on TikTok, but men and strong influencers, not whores like Get Your Daddy Girl or whatever her name is that Cam went to. All of us women don't like whores, okay? All of us women don't like this feminism bullshit where you don't need a man, you don't want a man. All of us don't subscribe to that. So assuming that all women do and then playing that card is what's going to continue to get them into trouble. And they're going to have some trouble yet again. And even though Trump can't run again, there's plenty of other men who have base in their voice on the Republican side that stand a better chance to win over a Cam and an Ocasio. If the liberals want to waste their time putting up a woman that's not going to win, have at it. Have at it. Because they're going to lose again. And especially now that they can't even get this WNBA stuff figured out, they still talking about what is a woman. Child, it's ridiculous. But let them go. I'm tired of her though.
Yesterday was the 20.
There's no hiding the fact.
The reason that several superhero movies are starting to struggle critically and commercially is because Iron Man is dead. But I don't mean the character, or that Robert Downey Jr. should return to the MCU. But rather...
Now, wherever this lie came from, that Gen Z is what? Like, they don't care, they're scared, or they're lazy? That's not true. We just don't give a fuck anymore. Now, let me explain. We do not care, and we do not live for other people's approval. We all know that you want your kids to...
So they taking on the Generation X moniker now, child. Come up with your own shit.
Get a degree for the simple fact that you can go around and tell your whole family that, oh, my son has a degree in this. You know, have you ever noticed that? It's always, my son's a doctor, my son's an engineer, my son's all this. How about, is your son happy? Is he happy? And for some reason, it still feels like that since the dawn of creation, we are the only generation to, I guess, see through the bullshit. Now, this isn't to say that we don't want to make money and don't want to do any of that. You, watching this video right now, if you have a laptop, you can start building something. You could start building something that...
He's absolutely right. But even with more opportunities and tools in order to do something, these people still continue to run off at the mouth, whine and complain and blame.
You'll probably fail, because we all fail at something. Anyways, I don't know if it's just me who has this kind of take or opinion, so leave your thoughts down below.
I truthfully do not understand the beef with Gen Z. As a millennial, I'm grateful for their rebellious asses. Hear me out. I just went to the store, found a baking pan. I wasn't even supposed to be in the baking section. That's neither here nor there. Found a pot. Great quality. I'm sure expensive. It had no tag. It was sitting in the wrong place. I'm like, let's see what happens. I go up to the front. I know this is a young woman, low-key kind of happy about it. She was like, oh, there's no tag on it? I was like, no. She's like, I don't care. You got it for free. I was like, are you going to get in trouble for that? She's like, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, let me go ask her manager. She'll get her manager. Also Gen Z, except a little older. She was like, $2.99, okay? I was like, yes, I will never block my blessings. Y'all, that pan, I looked it up, is $79.99, and they gave it to me for $2 to $2. I can't even say it because I feel wrong talking about this. I'm going to shut up. Bye.
And then when their corporate boss finds out and then they get fired, they'll say it's not their fault and it's unfair. Shout out to her for getting her blessing. But when they find out and see that, you know what, things seem to continue to be missing from the shelf, and then they start to investigate, see, these people don't think that far ahead. That's why you're not getting jobs, because of shit like that. You're just giving shit away for free. You're not doing your job. You're not looking it up. You're not doing any work, but it's somebody else's fault. Okay. You own nothing. You'll continue to own nothing because you're lazy. You have more opportunities than you've ever had in life, more so than Generation X, more so than baby boomers, and even more so than millennials, honestly. And you still choose to whine, complain, and blame, and you'll sit there and still be blaming 2 years from now. I'm going to give them 2 years from now. Let's see what's changed in 2 years. It'll be the same shit. Whine, blame, complain. They could be doing something more with all the tools that are available now. Nah, I'd rather say corporations need to change for me, and you need to pay me 6 figures. I don't know what this fascination is with the corporations. I just don't get what the fascination is with them. So many things to do in this whole world. Why aren't they out there on those rigs in the middle of the ocean, y'all? How come they're not out there in the middle of the ocean on those rigs that do whatever the hell they do? What are they digging for oil, y'all? You know what I'm talking about. Why are they not going out there? That is not corporate in any way, shape, or form. Why are they not in some truck somewhere that's delivering all the damn Amazons, the 18-wheelers, the 20-wheelers, however many wheels they got? Why are they not doing those things so they can get their consumerism things? Since you love home goods so much, go work there and become a manager and run the damn place. How about that? Nah, y'all don't want to do that either. Well, what do y'all want to do? What seriously, what the hell do y'all want to do besides be on the internet complaining, thinking that somebody gives a damn about y'all? Thinking that somebody gives a damn about y'all. No. Because you just want to complain, because that's all you want to do, because you need attention, because attention deficit disorder is a thing. And somebody needs to come up with attention anonymous, because that is a sickness as well. To need and want attention so bad, and to want people who you don't even know to congratulate you and to justify your bullshit is what you really want. And that will never be an Xer. It might be a millennial, as we just saw, but it will never be a Generation Xer. But y'all got all the answers. Y'all got all the answers. And I want y'all to go and do whatever it is that you want to do, legally, mind you. And let's see what happens. And let's see how you fare. And continue to listen to influencers, complete strangers. Continue to listen to a bunch of women who have no clue, a bunch of women who are pushing a feminist agenda. Continue to push everyone away. Continue to talk about the elderly. Continue to talk about the military. Continue to talk about anybody, elders, older, America. You hate America. You hate all this stuff. Continue all that. Continue to talk your shit on this damn TikTok and anything else or wherever you are. And let's see where you are a year from now and see if you're still having the same conversations while thinking that you control something else and y'all don't even control yourselves. I love it. I'm here for it. Good morning, Artifacts. I'm about to be done now, though. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you're on replay, I appreciate you. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hype this daggone video. Make sure you comment. Go to work. It's Monday. Happy Monday. I'll be back later on the live channel on Ask a Brother tonight. Hopefully y'all will come back and be there. I see you all in the next one.
And now another